Straight ahead on CCX News, hammering away at nearly 100 years of history. The local community center that finally met its end. Plus, perspective on poverty. We stop by a local food shelf you may not have heard about. And later, a Golden Valley neighborhood that has carved out a niche for really big pumpkins. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. As one city official put it, it was a good news, bad news day in Golden Valley.
A demolition began on the nearly 100-year-old Brookview Community Center building, making way for a new and improved community center. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how today's progress sparked more than a few memories.
There was one place to be in Golden Valley Monday morning, and that was here to help take down the walls of Brookview Community Center, a building that has stood for nearly 100 years and served Golden Valley since the 1960s.
Brookview was a dream from the 1950s, and it took them 10 years, and in the 60s they bought Brookview. And for me, it's special because my dad was on the council and part of buying Brookview.
Councilmember Joni Clausen helped take down the old community center by voting first, then taking a swing. She and other city council members and staff members got to take ceremonial first swings at Brookview.
Being on the council now, seeing the new community center going up, it's really fun. Plus, kind of the circle. I'm following in my dad's footsteps.
It's a good news, bad news days.
Director of Parks and Recreation Rick Burno says it's a bittersweet day.
I grew up in this community, and as a child came up into the pool in the community center, and I worked here for many years. So you kind of miss the old building. On the flip side, it was very tired. You know, we didn't have an elevator, and the bathrooms were not accessible, and the building itself was difficult to get into.
After ceremonial swings, for safety's sake, taking care not to break the glass, the professionals rolled in to take down a building that had been discussed by the council and the city for decades. After a swipe took out part of the roof, water poured off. Standing water on the roof was one of many problems with Brookview.
Big step. It is not an easy step. It's something that we all had to make a sacrifice to afford, but I think people are going to realize the quality of the new facility as we go forward.
You don't have to look far to see the new $18 million facility. It's next door and will hold banquet and wedding space, an indoor play area, golf course operations, and more. Finishing touches are underway.
So I took a before picture, and then I'm going to take an after picture.
But before saying a final goodbye to Brookview, Councilmember Clausen took a piece home with her to honor her late father. In Golden Valley, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Other pieces of the Brookview Community Center have been moved to the Golden Valley Historical Society, and Brookview should be demolished by the end of the week. The new facility is expected to be finished by the end of the year.
Osseo police plan to honor an officer who was killed in the line of duty more than 100 years ago, and that tops our look inside City Hall. Osceo's village marshal James Gardner was shot to death after responding to a domestic dispute on November 1st, 1916. And exactly 101 years after his death, the police chief is planning a ceremony to name the department's new building after Gardner. The matter goes to the City Council for approval tonight. Chief Shane Michelson says the city has a long tradition of remembering its history. Earlier this year, James Gardner's name was added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And the Osseo City Council tonight will also consider extending bar hours for Super Bowl weekend in February. State law allows cities to decide whether bars can stay open until 4 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night on Super Bowl weekend. The council may require a special permit to allow the longer hours. Other local cities, including Brooklyn Center, Crystal, and Maple Grove, have approved the extended hours with special permits. Minnesota's overall poverty rate is declining. However, more people are using local food shelves.
Reporter Sonia Goen shows us how a small, lesser-known food shelf in New Hope is helping others.
And did you have the green beans? A small army of volunteers restocked the shelves at the Hope Bridge food shelf. Even though it's in the middle of New Hope, they say a lot of people don't know about it.
This is our dry goods room.
The food shelf is part of New Hope Church and is 100% funded by church members. They're trying to reach out.
I like to say we all have a piece of the pie. If our neighbor has a need, all of us have a responsibility to help meet that need.
Cassie Davison-Bear is the Community Outreach Director at Hope Bridge.
People just come in and make the full circle. All of our fruits and veggies and all of that are in the cooler.
The food shelf serves residents in Plymouth, New Hope, and Crystal.
As a first-ring suburb, we've definitely seen more residents coming here looking for affordable housing, looking for jobs that can help meet their families' needs.
Cassie says people don't always think of poverty when it comes to the Northwest Metro, but it does exist.
Our clients range the spectrum. We have clients who have larger families. We've seen a rise in single older women. Maybe they've been recently divorced and all of a sudden they're finding them in a new situation for the first time they need the food shelf.
Hope Bridge is not only dishing out food, but they're feeding souls, offering spiritual guidance to anyone who might need it.
Anyone who would like to, we offer to pray with them, and we just really treasure that time where we get to hear some of the joys and some of the challenges going on in their life.
Hope Bridge is also bagging up encouragement, uplifting people when they need it the most.
If they come through the door and they leave just a little bit more hopeful or positive than they came in, that's the best.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Hope Bridge is open Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 9 until noon. For more information on services or volunteer opportunities, you can visit our website, ccxmedia.org.
Columbus Day is usually a bank holiday, but employees of local credit unions spent their day off giving back. Employees from local top-line credit union branches spent their bank holiday by performing volunteer work at SEEP in Brooklyn Center. Most of the groups spent the morning packing art supplies for the organization's Toys of Joy program. Topline joined 37 other credit unions in Minnesota as part of Credit Union Forward Day, which is an opportunity for employees to spread kindness and give back to their local communities.
We love that they took their banker's holiday and decided to come spend the day with us instead. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and they're always willing to jump in.
Credit union employees will put in more than 12,000 volunteer hours in 80 communities around Minnesota today. Still ahead on CCX News, Maple Grove company that's working on treatments to some of our most difficult health challenges. We'll visit there next.
Plus, a look ahead to the section playoffs in prep soccer. That's later in sports.
But first, sunny and cool on Tuesday, highs in the mid-50s. Well, each year, the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management recognizes the most promising startup companies in the state with its Min Cup Award.
The 2016 grand prize winner is now a Maple Grove medical technology company. In this week's Business Matters, we take a look at this company working to discover new medicines for some of the biggest health problems.
These are our products, which is kind of nice.
At Maple Grove's newest med tech company, StemoniX.
So what we're seeing is a human mini brain here. The green are actually neurons, and the red are astrocytes.
The art on the wall gets to the heart of this company's work.
Our vision is to make medicines work the first time, and we rally around that. Our mission is to accelerate the discovery of new cures.
Using human skin or blood, StemoniX creates stem cells to test the effectiveness of potential drugs. Drugs that one day could treat diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and schizophrenia.
There's 384 little wells. You can think of them as little petri dishes, and the cells go in there.
You can either give a person medicine, or you can do what we're doing right now, is put cells in a plate and then add that drug to the plate, and then you get your response on the plate rather than in a human.
These are astrocytes.
This company aims to test human reactions to drugs without actually having to test on humans or animals. CEO Ping Ye co-founded the company in 2014 after being diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
They had to give me a maximum kind of potency of chemo, and it was very risky to my heart. And it was only until after I took those chemo compounds before they were like, oh yeah, you survived the treatment too, by the way. And it was like, you know, maybe there's a better way to do this instead of like risk people's lives.
Ye's cancer is in remission, and now his company is positioned for growth.
We could actually build this out into either portable lab space.
With a new headquarters in Maple Grove, StemoniX can work to end some of the most troublesome diseases. And StemoniX has grown from a company of 3 just 2 years ago to 33 employees in 2017. Students at the Perpich Center for Arts Education had a chance to display their talents today.
Now, this is the school's National Portfolio Day, where students show their work to colleges and also hear some constructive criticism.
So they're showing their portfolio, hoping to basically have 3 questions answered. So what are they doing really well? What do they need to work on? And where do they go from here? So this gives them an opportunity both in terms of their portfolio and applying to college, but also as an individual, as an artist, to develop themselves.
Well, this annual event has proven to be beneficial to students in many ways. They are able to visit with prospective colleges to learn about what those schools have to offer, and they get their collection of work critiqued by experts and professionals.
It gives us an opportunity to see what colleges are looking for, and especially in a process that's often very scary and very intimidating, it gives us an opportunity to see not only what we're doing well, but what we can work on, how we can improve that. And it's another level of critique that we touch a little bit on at Perpich, but we don't necessarily get that full immersion that they can offer.
The Perpich Center is currently taking applications for next year. There is an information session Saturday morning, and more information is on the school's website. Still ahead, future jack-o'-lanterns that packed on a few pounds.
We'll show you these plump pumpkins coming up. But first, 2 defending state football champions celebrate victories on homecoming night. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. We are coming down the home stretch of the regular season in prep football. Osseo and Totino-Grace met last week. Homecoming night at Totino as the Orioles come out looking for a road win. Opening kickoff of this game. Orioles will keep this kick on the ground. It's scooped up by Ryan Suggs at his 15-yard line. He gets to the outside and he is gone. Suggs goes 85 yards for a touchdown. 7-0 Eagles after 1 play. The Orioles come back before the end of the first quarter, though. Aaron Jupal caps off an Osseo drive. He makes a tough run out the middle from 3 yards out for a score. It's 7-7 after 1 quarter. Second quarter, and Grace quarterback Peyton Schuler here on the play action pass. It's Zach Clausing. One of 3 catches for Clausing in the game, 14-7 Eagles at halftime. Third quarter, the pitch goes to Sam Hansen. He breaks off a nice run. His score on the 2-point conversion that fouls will make it 28-7 Totino. The catch of the game comes on the final play of the night. The Orioles' Eli Barlow lays out for the 28-yard catch and a touchdown. Totino-Grace gets the win, though, 28-13. The Eagles are now 5-1. After winning the state Class 4A title last season, Benilde St. Margaret's is having another strong season. They faced Holy Angels in the Battle of Unbeatens. Second quarter, Holy Angels, Joseph Heimbold airs it out. Jason Kraus brings it down at the 1-yard line to set up a Stars touchdown and a 13-7 lead. Third quarter, Benilde's Liam Ford gets loose, and he runs it down to the 1-yard line of Holy Angels, setting up a Red Knights TD, and they take a 14-13 lead. The Stars answer, Heimbold to Kraus. He'll break a tackle and score. Holy Angels back out in front, 19-14. And that's the score with less than 2 minutes to go. The Red Knights get a huge special teams play. Braden Fitzgerald there with the block of the punt. Benilde gets the ball on the 33. On the ensuing drive, Tommy Anderson with a pass to Turner Wine. He hauls it in for the touchdown. Red Knights miss a 2-point conversion, but they lead 20-19. Stars drive down the field in the final minutes, set up for the winning field goal, but it's blocked. The Red Knights grind out the win. 20-19 the final. They are now 6-0. It was homecoming at Hopkins as the Royals hosted St. Thomas Academy. St. Thomas in white. Cam Cashin taking the pitch. He goes in for the score, 7-0 Cadets. First play of the second quarter, Hopkins responds. James Kleckler with a strike. Levante Hayes for the touchdown. Midway through the second, the Royals get a short touchdown run by R.J. Shikolis. Hopkins gets his first win of the season. They take this one 21-19. And it's playoff time in prep soccer. Here's a look at the section breakdowns for the local teams. In Section 5AA boys, Roseville is the top seed, followed by Champlin Park, Park Center, and Osseo. The quarterfinals are Tuesday with Osseo hosting Mounds View, Park Center at home against Spring Lake Park, and Champlin Park at home to face Irondale. Semifinals are Thursday. In 6AA, Wayzata is the #1 seed ahead of Washburn. St. Louis Park and Kennedy. Armstrong is 7th and Hopkins 8th. In the quarterfinals Thursday, Wayzata will take on the winner of the Hopkins-Richfield play-in game, while Armstrong travels to Washburn. The semifinals are Saturday. In Section 8AA, Maple Grove was the top seed ahead of Moorhead and St. Cloud Tech. The Crimson host Rogers in the quarterfinals Thursday at 5 o'clock. And in Section 5A, Totino-Grace earned the top seed with Blake 2nd, Breck 3rd, and Benilde 4th. The second round is Thursday and the quarterfinals on Saturday. Some local girls soccer teams are enjoying strong seasons as well. Maple Grove, the top seed for the Section 5AA tournament. Centennial is 2nd with Champlin Park 3rd. Osseo is 7th and Park Center 8th. In the quarterfinals Tuesday, Park Center is at Maple Grove, Champlin Park hosts Irondale, and Osseo is at Centennial. The semifinals are Thursday. Wayzata is the top seed in Section 6AA, edging out Washburn. Those teams have met in the past 2 section finals. Hopkins is seeded 5th and Armstrong 6th. In Thursday's quarterfinals, Wayzata hosts South. Hopkins is at Cretin-Derham Hall, and Armstrong is at St. Louis Park. The semifinals are Saturday. In Section 5A, Blake is the top seed with Benilde 2nd. Totino-Grace is 4th and Breck 5th. Second round games are Tuesday with quarterfinals Thursday. Heritage Christian is the 3rd seed and Cooper 4th in Section 6A behind top seeds Orono and Monticello. Second round games are Tuesday with quarterfinals on Thursday. And that is all for sports. Alex and Mike, back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Still ahead, pumpkins you have to see to believe.
Pumpkins that really tip the scales when we come back.
Well, finally in Golden Valley, it was a battle of the heavyweights.
And we are not talking about prize fighting, we are talking pumpkins. The Big Way Off is part of the Kelly Drive Pumpkin Growers Association Neighborhood Festival held this past weekend. They've been doing this for more than 20 years, complete with marching bands, hay rides, and games for the kids. But the stars of the show, of course, are the pumpkins. They even have names like Lumpy, Runt, and the Forgotten One. The winner this year is called Pretty Woman. She is the one on the far right in this picture and weighs in at a hefty 788 pounds. Pretty Woman was grown by the Bruner family, and if that name sounds familiar to you, yes, they have won a few of these contests over the years.
Yeah, just a few. What do you do with a pumpkin then? You don't do you carve it and put it on your front steps?
I doubt it, but
There'd be no place.
Good question.
I don't know.
That is it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Tuesday, starting at 4.